Most people think that glycerin is only used in the hair to hold moisture, but it does a lot more than that. So if you want to break it down, stick around. I am Cyn Doll, and here on my channel we talk about the wonders of nature and its benefits for healthy hair, skin, nails, and gut health, among so many other things. And in today's video we're going to be talking about glycerin, also known as glycerol. All right, and glycerin is an odorless, slightly sweet liquid, and the applications vary from different applications with different pharmaceuticals, from hair products, cosmetics, different food recipes, and so many other things. It has such a wide range of use, and today we're going to break down exactly what it is and how you can use it for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and click that bell notification and turn on, so that way you're notified every time I post another video, because you know YouTube be on that boo. Glycerin is a natural substance derived from fats and oils through a process called hydrolysis. It has a syrupy consistency that is sweet. It makes it an amazing addition for so many different industries: food, skin, hair, everything. Let's go. One of the most known and most popular uses of glycerin is most people knowing about glycerin being a humectant that has the ability to attract moisture from the air. But I think that's the thing that confuses people, because I don't think people understand exactly what attracting moisture really means. Now, it makes it a really popular product in skincare products, because when you're attracting moisture to the air with the skin, it has different properties than it would when we're talking about the hair. Because for somebody that needs moisture to the skin really does hold water within itself, whereas the hair doesn't hold water within itself. It'll attract the moisture to the hair, do with it what it wants to do, and then that's it. And the problem that most people have is not really understanding the properties of different products and their relation to the platform that it's on, right? So yes, it attracts moisture, but if you're a person with naturally curly hair and you live in a humid climate, or maybe if you don't live in a humid climate at all and you have a lot of glycerin in your hair, or you're using products that are really high in its glycerin content, then what you'll notice is if you use, like, let's say instead of you using a regular serum, you're using a really highly glycerin based serum, then you'll get your hair straightened, but then once you go outside, your hair will instantly revert back. Why? It's because the glycerin is attracting the H2O from the air, and you have three bonds that hold the hair together: the hydrogen bond, the disulfide bond, and the salt bond. The hydrogen bond is the temporary bond in the hair that is broken by hydrogen, H2O, right? So anytime water or any type of moisture touches the hair is going to revert back to a curly state. And that is how it goes, because the glycerin is attracting the water from the atmosphere. But remember, your hair is only going to absorb 32 to 36% of whatever is in the air. So remember, you having a bunch of glycerin in your hair is only going to allow your hair to attract 32% or 36% for that day. That's it. And then after that, you're just walking around with the open cuticle, and your hair is just packing on all of these extras that it doesn't want. Because remember, after the hair absorbs, anything else that absorbs into your hair is just dead weight. So this is why glycerin is to be used as something that is meant to extract the herbal complexes of something, of a certain compound, not to be used alone on its own. Because yeah, it'll help you to attract a little bit of moisture, but it doesn't let it go. So then those are people who end up eventually getting hydro fatigue and so many other things that are direct results of too much weight being left on the hair strand. All right, hydro fatigue is when the hydrogen bond is opening and closing too much, is breaking and setting too much, which in return causes the hair follicle to swell and unswell over and over again, leading to hydra fatigue. All right, so these are all things that really go into each other. Whenever you're using an herb, or especially if you're making things with herbs, you need to understand the complexity of not only the product that you're making, what you're putting it on. It's not just as simple as, oh, this is going to make my hair shiny and things of that nature. There are always levels and steps. All right, let's keep going. But when we are talking about using glycerin for hair care products, it's amazing, right? Because what glycerin does, it binds to whatever it's on, right? Whatever it's on, and it pulls out not just the moisture, but all of its beneficial benefits, all of its properties. Like, it literally sucks the life out of anything that is on. So this is why, even though sometimes glycerin will feel good while it's on your hair, if you just put glycerin itself on your hair and nothing else, once you stop using it, you'll notice a difference in your hair, but not really for the best, right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's absorbing moisture from the air, but it is also taking everything out of your hair. So as it pulls from the atmosphere, it's taking in within itself. And that's something that I really want you to think about, because when I make different glycerites, when I first put the herb into the mason jar, there's literally nothing in the mason jar but the glycerin and the herb. And sometimes I put a very small amount of water, depending on what form of glycerin I'm making. Look, watch the video and it'll teach you more about it, right? It'll teach you all about it, all the details. But normally when I'm making a glycerite, I'm not using really anything but the glycerin and the herb. If you're just getting the normal type of glycerin that you can get, like this type of glycerin, I know you see it a lot, it's a really popular one, but this isn't one that you can ingest into the body. If you're just using it for like maybe your hair, then I mean, yeah, it's cool. But if you want to have a multi-purpose glycerite, then I feel like your best bet will be to go ahead and just get vegetable grade glycerin. A lot of people are always talking about supplements. That's fine. You can make your own supplements at home with no additives or anything. You can literally get this video, go ahead, purchase the video, learn how to make your own glycerites, and you could get little capsules and put your final mixture in the capsules. You can sell it, start your own business, or you could just have you could just put it in a bottle like this. You can put it in a bottle like this, and then boom, you have your own glycerite at home, and this will last for 3 years. When we do tinctures are made with alcohol the same way, right? But tinctures are gonna last you for about 10 years versus one made with glycerin is only gonna last us for 3 years. This is the one with saffron. This is a glycerite made with nothing but saffron. There is nothing but saffron and glycerin in here, nothing else. Saffron and glycerin, nothing else, right? And so a little bit goes a long way. When I'm taking this, right, because I have my own version of all of these, right? So when I'm taking those, I'm taking like 2 or 3 drops under my tongue a day, and that is it for me, right? And it works. My mom, one of the one with the black seed in it is the tincture that my mom takes, and she had a UTI. She was taking that for not even a week, and that UTI was out of there, boys. So now we have to always make sure, my mom is like, you have to always make sure you have that glycerin right here for me. So that's what it is. You can make your own medicine, you can make your own tinctures, and there are so many different ways that you can use herbs. You don't just have to, drink them, but I really just don't recommend just boiling tea and putting it in your hair. I really don't. If you want to put herbs in your hair, make a glycerite out of those herbs, or make a tincture out of those herbs and put a couple of drops in them. Put a couple of drops of the final product into a carrier oil that is low on the comedogenic scale. If you're new here, the comedogenic scale literally is the scale that talks about the oil or a butter or anything's ability to block the follicles on the body, right? So something Something that is comedogenic is going to be something that can block the follicles, and something that is non-comedogenic is something that won't block the follicles. So something like almond oil is very low on the comedogenic scale, so the chances of almond oil blocking the hair follicle is very, very, very limited. So let's say, for example, this is with black seed, clove, moringa, avocados, and avocado seed, not the actual avocado, but the avocado seed, right? And so this is just a couple of drops of this inside of a certain amount of oil, and you mixing that up will be a hair growth oil. That's how they make those oils. They don't brew, they don't boil tea. If you see something that says with the black seed oil or with black seeds, they didn't boil black seeds and then mix them in an oil. No, they made an extract or they made a glycerite. So you can do that to yourself. If you still want to put herbs in your hair, you can do that. For the herbs that I sell in Simple Apothecary, of course, baby, do whatever you want to do, but my recommendation is never to put herbs in your hair as it pertains to like you boiling it on the stove and spraying your hair down with a water bottle. If you are going to use any of my herbs or any herb on this planet from anybody, if you're going to use it in your hair, make a tincture or a glycerite out of it first. Use a very, very limited amount, and a little bit goes the longest way that you can ever imagine. Without using a full bag of my butterfly blue flower tea, you can make your own glycerite that'll last for 3 years. You can make a small batch of glycerite that will last you for years, right? Just a small mason jar of it that looks like this will last you for 3 years, all right? And you can keep making it. So again, if you are interested in making your own hair care products, your own soaps, your own butters, anything that needs you, anything that causes you to use a herb, or if you're trying to heal something within the body and you really, really want to take supplements and things of that nature, save your money, okay? Save your freaking money. Get you some herbs, get some glycerite, and go ahead, get some glycerite, get you some herbs, get some glycerin or alcohol, learn how to make it yourself, and then boom, there you go. It's so much cheaper and it's so good for you with no additives, which cuts down all of the side effects literally in quadruple. I don't want to say in half, they just all chopped up. All right, so let me know what you think, you guys. I really hope this makes sense. Again, you do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you a better option, because I know it seems cool to put herbs in your hair. Everybody's like, oh, Ayurvedic herbs, and that's nice, but you guys, there are millions upon millions of herbs, and we don't even know. We haven't even scratched the surface of the amount of herbs that are on this earth. And trust me, yeah, herbs and stuff, they're like, oh, it's helping in my hair and stuff, but one thing that I want y'all to remember, the majority of people who are saying doing all the Ayurvedic herbs and things of that nature are also people who at one point used to have different hair regimens that cause them to do things that block the follicle. Like before, they could have made videos about greasing the scalp or the bagging method and a lot of different things like that resulted in blocked follicles. And if you have a blocked follicle, that means that there's an overgrowth of bacteria, and if there's an overgrowth of bacteria, that means that the natural hair growth cycle will be slowed down. So when that bacteria is dead, right, which the herbs do, putting a herbal rinse on your hair real quick is going to kill all bacteria, good and bad, intensely. So absolutely, it killed the bacteria that was stopping the process. But what happens is you fall so in love with the fact that those herbs killed the bacteria that was there that you keep doing it, right? And then eventually you kill that good bacteria, and then after the good bacteria is dead, your body is going to send everything that it can its way. It's going to send all of the things that it has in the immune system to fight what's going on in your scalp. But see, what happens is other parts of your body don't have the attention that it needs because your body giving everything to the scalp. And then after a while, your body gets done fighting, and then that's when you start noticing that's when you start noticing all of these different forms. That's when you start noticing all of these different forms of alopecia and all of these different disorders like seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, scalp psoriasis that so many people share. But most women that have these disorders, when you sit down and talk to them, everybody shares the same practices, even if nobody's doing it. Now, all of the old practices are resembling each other, so don't get played this time with the next herbal wave of putting herbs in your hair. No, once and for all, start from the inside out, and you can just take glycerin and make your own supplements. If you want to make your own hair products, you add this glycerite to the hair products. Stop putting herbs directly in your hair.